Okay, so we'll begin our Qigong practice in Wuji stance or empty stance. So starting at the top of the head, lifting up through the crown, we're going to straighten a little bit with the back of the neck or through the back of the neck, resting our tip of our tongue behind the top teeth at the roof of the mouth. So it's like you're saying la, 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 la. And then your shoulders are dropped down, your arms are soft and relaxed. And if you let's just practice taking a little bit of a breath from the Dantian first. So when you engage this belly and you start to breathe from the core, you're going to feel your arms float, maybe just a little bit, not a lot, but you're going to take a breath in and you feel the arms float a little bit away from you. And that's kind of where you want your arms to be. That piece of movement is going to be important when we do some of the dragon movements later. So try to breathe from the core, engage from the Dantian. And then let your knees just soften a little bit so your tailbone drops down. And then last but not least, you can kind of roll the knees over the balls of the feet, just opening your stance a bit more, but you don't have to, especially if it bothers your knees. Just relax the knees slightly in that case. So it's just starting to focus on the breath. And again, breathing in and out from the Dantian, from that core. So when you engage those muscles, you can actually feel a little bit of lifting or movement of the arms. It's very subtle. Just tuning into that movement for a few breaths. And then just allowing your breath to be relaxed. So just breathing in and out through the nose, maybe letting go of that focus of breathing from or engaging the core on your inhale. If that feels natural, continue to breathe like that. Otherwise, just nice, easy in and out breath. And then we're going to just float our arms up and bring them out in front like we're hugging a tree. Start to bring the palms towards your chest and then reach behind you. So the backs of your hands are facing you. Palms are reaching away. Arms are reaching down. So the ears, the shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. You should feel tension in the forearms, tension in the fingers. And particularly if you want to make it a little bit more for the lungs, you can curl your fingers back, just leaving the index finger and the thumb reaching down. Exhale the chin to the chest, and then we're going to roll our head a little bit over to the left a few times. Little half circles. Rolling over to the left, reaching away with the arms down towards the ground. And if you feel like you're snugging that shoulder up towards your ear, reach down with those fingers a little bit more. Then bring your chin back to your chest and sweep it over to the other side. Again, really reaching down with the fingers, keeping the shoulder away from the ear. And just being aware of all the little creaks, cracks, crunches. And then next time your chin comes to your chest, relax your arms and just let your arms float and come right on top of your thighs. As you exhale, start to roll down. Letting your hands just come above the knees, coming into chicken pecks the rice. Inhaling, we're going to start to press back up. Palms will rotate towards the front. Squeeze your glutes a little bit and make this full body back bend. So you're not letting your head drop. You're bringing your spine in one line. Nose reaches to the ceiling. And then as you come towards the front, the backs of the palms turn towards your back. Your chin tucks. You make that little roll down, maybe about to the knees. Pressing into the feet, keeping the knees slightly bent, roll back up. Palms will turn naturally to the front. Squeeze the glutes, make a little back bend, nose to the ceiling, and rolling again. So as your back starts to loosen up a bit, maybe your hands drop a little bit below the knees. And as your front body becomes a little more looser, maybe you are able to back bend a little bit more, but keep those glutes engaged, rolling down. Really letting your head and arms relax and release towards the ground. And then coming back up. We'll do 2 more of those. So again, we're moving with our breath as well. Last movement. And come back to the center. So take a moment here and notice how your spine is feeling. And then we'll work a bit with our shoulders. So we'll make our tiger's mouth come under the arm lightly. Your thumb is kind of resting on lung 1. Take your arm across the body. So your waist turns, your legs do not. You come up, and then you're going to turn to the other side as your hand comes behind you. Come across and turn, inhaling and exhaling. Moving with your breath, feeling a nice rotation in the shoulder. So if you want to pay attention to the hand or the palm faces you as it comes up to the top, then the palm faces down, and then the back of the hand is towards the back of the body as you come to the back. The palm is towards the front of the body, and then the palm is to the front of the body as you come to the back. Breathing in, breathing out, and really getting into that nice circular movement of the waist, the torso, and the shoulder joints. Now, notice if your right shoulder is, or whatever shoulder you have, arm on the chest, so whatever arm is not moving, notice if that shoulder is creeping up towards your ear, and see if you can keep it relaxed away. We'll make 2 more circles. And then we'll release, come back into Ruji for 1 breath. And then we're going to take the other arm, the other hand, and keep that shoulder nice and relaxed. So just give it a little attention as you start to move in this direction, keeping the shoulders relaxed, feeling that twist in the waist, the torso, and then feeling the arm just floating along your body to the front and back. So the dragon movements that we make use a lot of arms and shoulders. So it's nice to warm them up properly. And we'll make 2 more circles. And when we're done, just come back into Wuji. And we're just going to bend at the elbows. We're going to circle our wrists, no matter which direction. The opposite, same direction. And then just like you're patting your head and rubbing your tummy, we're going to reverse that direction. So take your one wrist, take them both in the opposite directions. And then raise your arms back down to your sides. And then we're going to, this one will be good to a little bit of a preparation for some of the dragon movements. But this one is a different version of the heart or the fire element Qigong. So the one that we know is the one that we call like block the sun or block the eclipse. This one is a little bit different and it's a little bit of movement. So we're going to step out with the left leg, draw the backs of the hands together, and we come up to the front. The palms turn up, the arms come down, the knees bend, and then we step back in. We step back out to the other side. We come up. We open the palms to the front, bend the knees, step that foot back in, step out. That's it. Palms come up. We make a little bend with the knees, like we're presenting, or we're going to put something down on the table. And then as that foot comes in and the other foot comes out, we bring the backs of the hands together, come up to the heart. We open, place the platter on the table. And then as this foot comes in and this foot comes out, we start the movement again. We come up, we open, we bend the knees, the arms continue coming down. As that foot comes in, turn the backs of the palms together and step out and move right into the next movement. Put a little bit of bending of the knees, shifting of the weight, right? And a little bit of coordination. Sometimes our movements in Qigong require that little bit of brain thinking. Okay, let's do one more. Stepping out. And just coming back into Wuji. Okay, more. Now to loosen our spine as well, we're going to do standing snake body, which is one of the 6 chi cultivation exercises. So this one, the arms come up. I'm just going to do the arm part. We're going to move them to one side, bring them in, move them out. Like we're making a circle with our arms. And it's almost like your fingers are nice and loose, your wrists, your hands. It's like you're just brushing your fingertips on a smooth surface of glass. Think about that, okay? Now, as the arms come out and over to your left, your belly button shifts to the right. The arms come in, you're back to center. As they go out to the right, your belly button shifts to the left. Okay, so just the belly button. So you can see my hips moving a little bit. Obviously, your hips will move a little bit, but really focus on the belly button. So this is going to cause you to engage the core a little bit. Now, if your shoulders are getting tired, just bring your arms down here. You can lower them and you can make that same movement. You don't have to keep them up chest height. You can keep them right in front of the belly and just move them from here. So for the breathing for this, you maybe are exhaling here as you're reaching out and inhaling as you're drawing in. You could be doing it the opposite as well. Just notice your breath. Now we're going to switch directions. So keep our arms out. Now just switch your circle to the opposite direction. Beautiful. And then we'll just release our hands back down. Give your shoulders a little roll, maybe move a little. Come back into Wuji, take a notice of how you're feeling. And then we'll give our arms a little break. We'll step our feet just a little wider, hands on our hips. Nice straight back. So as we come forward, our back is straight. And it's almost like we're making a little side bend here. Or maybe you're thinking about, it's not quite a figure eight. It's more like we're back. One hip goes to the side. We're back to the center. The other hip goes to the other side. So it's not really, it is a circle. And as you move, it'll feel more like a circle. I just want you to keep in mind that your back is fairly straight. We're not going too far back with this one. So we're not coming like way back here like that. It's just a smaller circle focused on the hips and the waist. That's the emphasis. Nice little small circles. And then we're going to reverse that direction. Nice. Just getting our hips all nice and loosey-goosey. And coming back up to center. Let that go. And then we're going to do 2 circles for hips, knees, and ankles. The first one we're going to do is that one where we just step out to the front. So we step out to the front, balls of the feet are on, balls of the foot is on the ground. And if you look down, it's like you're circling your knee around your foot. Your heel remains lifted off the floor. Just the ball of the foot is pressing in. I'll just do about like maybe 6 circles in one direction, 6 circles in the other direction. So an inward rotation and then an outward, or outward and then inward. Now, take that same foot and step it behind you and make that same movement. Circling. and then the opposite direction. So it feels a little bit awkward doing it this way, but I find that if we do it forward first and then take it to the back, our body already remembers that circle, right? So it makes it slightly easier. Beautiful. Let that leg go. Then we'll do the other one. We'll step out, circle, keeping the heel lifted, ball of the foot on the floor. It's if you're circling your knee around the foot. And reverse. And then we're going to take that step back and make that same movement. And reverse. Beautiful. And let that go. Maybe take a little drink, or I need a drink anyway. Okay, so I think we got our body sufficiently warmed up. So the first movement that we did was with the dragon was the flying dragon. So this is the one where we definitely want to start the movement from the core. So it's almost like we're pulling in the lower belly button as we take a little bit of an inhale, and then the arms are going to float up. So let's just practice that, just inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. So when you engage that belly button and take that breath in, you're going to feel the chest lift up a bit. So even if you take a hand on the chest and a hand on the belly, and then take that in breath, engaging the core, you can see a little bit how my hand on my chest and my hand on the belly move. So when we do that with our arms by our side, it's sort of like we're lifting up a little bit from the shoulders. We're not lifting up to our ears, but that invitation to float the arms up. It's like you're inviting the arms to float up. Good. Now, for this movement, most of us will find it easier with the feet together. If you don't like the feet together, just step back into that Wuji stance, taking a little bit of space. So it's going to look like this. We're going to start with our feet together. On our inhale, the arms are going to float up. And then on our exhale, we're gonna rotate to the right. So if you want to watch the arms, this is a little bit of an extra piece here. We inhale up, we're going to go to the right. So when you go to the right, this right arm the palm is going to turn away, and the left palm is going to turn towards the right. So if you're going to the right palm turns out. We bend the knees slightly, and we fly or coil or spiral to the right. Now, as we come back, let the left arm bring your body back to the center. The right arm is going to follow along. So all you need to do is turn the palm, and then as you come back, this arm is going to lead you back, and then just turn the palm back. Knees straighten slightly, arms come down. We inhale from the core, arms float up. Let's go to the right again. Turn the right palm, exhale as we twist. Inhale, that left arm will lead your body back. Exhale, relax. Inhale from the core, arms float up. Let's go to the left now. Left palm turns. Right palm follows it as you coil. Now let the right arm start to lead you back and let the left arm follow. And release. Let's go back to the right. Inhale, engage the core. Turn the right palm. Exhale. Bend the knees. We make a little spiral. The left arm leads you back. Sorry, I'm trying to mirror you guys. And release. Inhale. Exhale. You don't have to have a really big spiral either. It could be a short, little tight one. And it can also be with your arms lower. So if the shoulders bother you, bring them up to here. Make your little turn. And then come back. So the key thing is allowing that arm that's in front to unwind you back. This back arm just comes along. So if I'm like this and I turn here, my body has to, see, this arm has to come to the front, right? We're turned. And as this arm comes around, it's just going to naturally bring this arm with it. So that's the last little extra piece from what we did last time. Everybody have it? We're going to do it together. We're going to do, we'll do 4 to each side. So if your feet are good together, keep them together. If not, keep them apart. That's fine. Even if you don't want to make that little bend as you turn, you don't have to. You can just make that turn and then come back. The most important thing is engaging that core to lift and float the arms up. And then the second most important thing is to let this arm guide you back to the front. Okay? Beautiful. So let's do that together. We'll come into our starting position. Take a breath. Let our shoulders be nice and soft and arms relaxed. We're going to go towards the right first. So this way, I'll mirror you. We're going to take a nice breath in using our core. The arms start to float up on the inhale. Turn the palm. Exhale, come into your coil, your spiral. Inhale, let that front arm lead you back. Exhale, release. Going to the left now. Inhaling, engaging the core. Exhale, coming into your spiral. Inhale, let that front arm lead you. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Core engages on your inhale, arms float up. Exhale, spiral. Inhale, let that front arm lead you back to the front. Exhale, back to starting. One more time to each side. Good. Got it? Any questions on that? You can unmute if you have a question on that. Did that feel slightly different than last week? A little bit? Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. So that's the dragonflies. Let's take our feet, separate our feet. Good. Now let's bring our feet back together now. Let's just bend the knees a little bit just to break it up here. Do a few knee circles in each direction. And reverse. Beautiful. Give that a little shake. So the next one we did was the spirit dragon. shakes its spine. So this is the one where you put the phone in your back pocket, and then you put the phone in your back pocket. So we're going to add on to that a little bit as well. So I want you to start with your feet slightly wider than hips. So here's hips, and we're just going to take them a little bit wider. And we're also going to turn our toes out at about 45 degrees. And then just make this movement. So just moving or gliding your knee over the toes. So that's the first movement. So you can do Spirit Dragon shakes its spine 2 different ways. I think you're going to find the second way a little bit easier, but some of you may not. So we're going to do it first the same way we did last time. So as our hip comes out to the right, it's like we're tucking our phone in our back pocket, and this one is, hand me that other phone. You're going to pull that phone out of that pocket, and you're going to slip this phone into the back pocket. And then you're going to just keep going side to side. So it's more of a side to side movement. The arms can get big. If you want to, you can make them big. You can take a big reach up and a big reach down, or you can just keep them nice and tight. Just slipping the phone in, taking it out, slipping the phone in, taking it out. That's it. You're just making a side to side movement. I'm going to do this a few more times. So in one of my in-person classes, one of the ladies said, oh, it's like doing, what is it called? Like dance fever, like disco, dance fever, dance fever. So it's kind of that movement, right? So sticking out, sticking out. Good. Now let go of your arms. Now, as you come over to the right, you're going to lift the left toes. As you come over to the left, you're going to lift the right toes. So try that for a few times. And again, my back is kind of straight. This knee bends a little. This knee bends a little, lifting the toes. Good. And then you can start to put the phone in the back pocket. Come up to the center, switch, lifting the toes, putting your phone in the back pocket. Up, lifting the toes. So if your foot is facing mostly forward, as you lift the toes, the foot turns out a little bit. So your body and the foot turn out a little bit. You come back to center. That's it. So most of you, I think, might find this way a little bit easier or more comfortable. If you don't, just go back to this way, where you just keep both feet on the ground and you rock the hips side to side. So an inhale and an exhale. And an inhale, and again, you can get as big with your arms as you want. Or you can keep your arms nice and close. Just depends on the day. How much disco do you want in your day? Right? Good. I think everybody has that one. That one's not as tricky, or I don't think, but good. Let's let that go. Good. So spirit or dragonflies, and the spirit dragon shakes its spine. So we have time to do the next two. So the first one is the dragon dives for the pearl, and we might have done that in Qigong, in the Qi Yoga class. But there's a second piece of that where the dragon shines the pearl. So he presents it to the east, the west, he shines it. So we're going to add that into it. So the dragon, to pick up the pearl, the hands are almost like almost like when we make tiger's mouth. So they're a little bit more shaped. So like we're actually picking, so we don't have them flared apart, but we don't have them really tight like this, but they're a little bit more rounded, a little bit more shape to them. We begin in our Ruji stance. When we bend forward, the knees slightly bend, and it's just like your tailbone goes back and your spine stays straight. And then when we get to a certain position where we feel like it's like we're going to tip over, we just drop the head and let the top of the head go down to the mat as your arms dangle forward. And that's as far as you have to come. However far as you don't have to go all the way down, to the ground. And then it's like you're lifting up a pearl. So you bend the knees and you rise up with the elbows by your side. And you're holding the pearl here in front of the dantian. And then you're like, I want to see what this pearl looks like. So I'm going to bring it up to the sun. And I'm going to look at it in the sunlight. Oh, shoot, I have some sand on it. I need to rinse it off again. So I'm going to bring the elbows in. And I'm going to start to reach back with that tailbone. And I'm going to dip it back down into the water. Head relaxes, arms release. And you're rinsing it in the water, so you're just holding it there. Bending the knees, you start to bring the pearl back up out of the water in front of the dantian. And then you're going to present it up to the sun again so you can examine it. And you're like, wow, that is an amazing pearl, but I have a little bit more of sand on it. I'm going to wash it off one more time. So we do this 3 times. We bring our arms in, reach back with the tailbone, the chin tucks. We make this forward fold all the way down as far as you're comfortable. And we grab the pearl one more time, swish, swish, swish. We bring it up. First in front of the dantian. The pearl represents wisdom. And then we reach it up to the sun. Oh, wow, look at that. I got all the sand off of it. I think I'm going to show it to the east and the west. So now you're going to bring that pearl down in front of the chest. So we're going to go to the left side first. And all you're going to do is present the pearl to the left. So it's a little tiny turn. We're not turning far because we don't want to turn this lower part of our body. And then we're going to reach out. So when you reach out, your right arm is in front of you. So it's shorter. It can't reach out as far as the left, correct? Turn the left palm to face the sky. Turn the right palm to face the left palm. Now we're going to polish the pearl. We're going to draw the left arm in, reach out a little bit with the right arm, and then reach back out with that left arm. Draw it back in like you're polishing the pearl, and back in. And then we're going to do that one more time. Draw the pearl in, let that top hand polish it. Now we're going to stay out here. The right arm is going to make a rainbow. So it's going to start to lift up. And it's going to come all the way down into a rainbow. Now, the left arm is going to meet the right arm now. So you're going to take the rainbow and close it. But again, that left arm is on top. It doesn't reach out as far as the right. Both palms are facing each other now. We're going to polish the pearl. Left arm reaches out. Right arm draws in a bit. And back out again. And we're going to polish it again. Smoothing the pearl. So you're really feeling this in the upper back. Very similar to our fire element Qigong. One more time. Now, our left arm is going to form a rainbow. So it's going to bring up and down. palms turn down, and we just float the arms back down. And then we take all that wisdom from our pearl and we put it right here in our center, in our dantian, taking a couple of breaths. So that one is a little bit more tricky, especially with this movement. So when we have the pearl and we present it to the east or the left, the right side, we flip our palms and then we polish the pearl. So you're just like you're rotating that top arm and you're polishing it. So you don't have to be way out here, and you don't want to be doing this, like moving your entire body. It's just a little polish with the upper part. And then we make our rainbow. And then this hand comes over to meet this side, and we polish. And polish 3 times. And make our rainbow. Everybody have that one? Okay. So just because we can, let's do the fire element Qigong movement. Then we'll do some lymphatic massage because I'm so into that these days. And it's so good for you. So the fire element is very similar to polishing the pearl, which is interesting because the pearl represents wisdom, right? And the heart in Chinese medicine is the empress of the body. It's the one who's the wisest. It's the wisest organ. It's going to guide you from the heart with your intuition, and it always has the final say. So it's not surprising that that movement is in there. So for the fire element, give your legs a little shake if you need. We'll start again moving to the left. So our arms are soft by our side. And then we're going to, it's almost like we start like we're cradling something right below the dantian. We move up to the left. The left arm is going to block the sun, so the palm turns out. Then the right palm turns to face the left, so they're both facing the same direction. You're going to draw the left arm in a little bit and reach out or press out with the right arm. So there's that little polishing the pearl. And then release. And then float the arms back down to the center. And then we go to the other side. So we come up to the other side. The right arm blocks, the left palm turns out. You're going to draw the right arm in towards the forehead, press out a little bit. With the left arm, and then release. So that's that kind of polishing the pearl movement. And then come back to center. And then we come up to the other side. Both palms are facing away from you. We push pull, so we extend the right arm, bring the left arm in a little bit towards the forehead, release, drop the arms down. Over to the right side. The right palm blocks the sun, left palm presses out. Bring the right palm towards the forehead, press with the left, release, back to center. Come back up. So keep moving with your breath. Let's do one more to each side. So your shoulders, your upper chest, shoulder blades, everything in this kind of upper heater of the body, where conception vessel 17 sits, right in the middle of our sternum, the sea of chi of the chest. all the medicine and energy for the lungs and the heart reside here. Last one. And back to the center. Beautiful. So before we move into some lymphatic drainage and a little bit of manual or manual rebounding or a little bit of bouncing, just take a moment and notice your body, your hands, your palms. How's everything feeling? Notice your breath. Then we're going to start with our left side. So we're going to take our right hand on the left collarbone, and we're just going to rub lightly above and below the collarbone 10 times. And then we just pat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. And pat. And then behind the ears. So usually I just use 2 fingers like this and come underneath the ears, kind of where the jaw meets the neck. You can circle or you can rub up and down. Take your 2 fingers, tap. Next is the axillary or the armpit. So you can massage here. Very important, especially for women and their breast tissue. All the lymph nodes we have here. And lightly tap. Other side. So that was 1, 2, 3. So 4 and 5 you can put together. So you can do the thymus like this and then here, or you can do the thymus and just below the diaphragm at the same time. So you can just rub sideways for both if you want to do both. And tap. And then we have our groin. So you can get into the groin if you want to a little bit more. You can take your hands right in there, get all those lymph nodes. And then I just take the knife edge of my hand and just kind of tap, but you can tap with the flat end of your hand as well. And then the last is behind the knees. So up and down behind the knees. Tap. Beautiful. Now we've done all the major lymph node places, and then we're just going to bounce. So bouncing, you can just keep your feet on the floor, lift your heels, just give yourself that bounce. Sometimes in class, we'll do shake the spine 7 times to eliminate 100 diseases. That's another way we can bounce. And we'll let that go. And then we'll take our feet a little further apart. We'll start with constant bear, which is just kind of making our little figure 8s. So we'll just start with that. Just a little bit of shifting into constant bear. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling hot now, a little bit of warmth. So just make that figure eight. Your arms are just hanging. They might be moving, but you're not consciously moving them. And then change your figure eight. Use your brain. Make your figure eight in the other direction. And then come back to stillness. And then knocking on the gate of life, we're going to do it a couple different ways. And I want you to pick which way feels comfortable for you. So most of us do it like this. So we come to one side, and the side that we're going to, that knee bends, and then we go to the other side. So this is probably the safest way if you have knee problems. So then you would want to do it this way. The other way is as you come to the side that you're going to turn, you lift that heel and this other opposite knee bends. And that's okay too. That's not too bad. The last way is we actually have our feet about hips distance apart, just like we did for constant bear. And you're not moving your feet at all. So this one is the easiest way to hurt your knee. So if this doesn't feel comfortable, please don't do it. But all the movement here is in your hips. So you just get a little torque, a little motion going in your hips. So 3 different ways. Find the way that feels good for you. And take those 3 deep breaths. Really breathing in. Feeling the breath go all the way down to the kidneys. And then start to let your arms unwind. Coming back into your Wuji stance. Then let's, for 1 minute, we're going to float our arms up. We're going to do a standing meditation. So your arms are up, shoulders, elbows are down. If this feels too much, your shoulders have had enough today, just let the arms rest in by your waist so that you don't have to hold them out. Otherwise, imagine that you're hugging a ball in front of you, but the shoulders and elbows are relaxed. Now, establish your Wuji. Make sure you're lifting up through the crown of the head. Tip of the tongue is on behind the top teeth. And we have that little bend in our knees. Maybe a rotation of the knees out over the balls of the feet. And maybe imagine that you're holding that beautiful big pearl of wisdom. Breathing in and out to this ball, this pearl of energy that you're holding in front of you. Feeling all that energy absorbing into your heart, to your lungs, down into the abdomen, into all your organs. Softening where you can. If you find yourself getting a little stiff or tired or tight, and just breathing in and out. Three more breaths. And then just start to open your hands, your palms up to the ceiling. And then bring your hands down alongside of you. Take a nice inhale, drawing the arms out to the sides and above you. So expand this pearl of energy as the hands come up overhead. Let the palms turn down and breathe that energy down into all the way into your dantian. And as we'll do this two more times. So you can fill yourself with an energy that you're looking for, that you need, maybe a calm and a peaceful energy around the hustle and bustle of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Maybe breathing in that sense of calm and peace. Maybe breathing in a little bit of joy, whatever it is that you might need. And then on the last one, just take your hands when you come down to the dantian, just rest your hands on your dantian, breathing in and out. Sealing in all that energy. And then gently bringing your right fist to your heart, the left hand on top of it. And just taking a bow of respect towards each other, just like we do in yoga when we say namaste. Thank you for this practice. Have a beautiful holiday and a beautiful Christmas. I am going to stop recording